And so I will try to give you a hint of what we've been doing lately since the last meeting. So just a reminder for people who might be new to the community. So new documentations have had several goals. So first would be up to date with version 3. Of course, it's a documentation of JDemetra Plus software, goes without saying, sorry. So it has to be up to date with version 3 features and tools, while still keeping information on the latest version 2, because it's currently in use and people won't change everything from one day to the next. So we try to manage both versions. And so we try to make it, in order to be able to update it quickly, we try to make it easy to update and deploy, so it's not a pain as it used to be. And also we try to have a nice and clickable PDF rendering, because then you can use it offline. You have a nice structured table of contents. You can use it for training, so this is good. And also we try to find a framework with more visible structure and easier navigation. So you'll see this. And improved searchability. That's also an issue. If you go to the old documentation and you try to use a search bar, it's not very efficient. I think this one is much better. We might find some more ways to improve it, because this is really a sought after feature. And we want to be able to embed R code. So we decided to build a Quarto book. So that's our framework. And we use R to work on it, but Quarto is agnostic and can be used with many other languages or tools. And so just a hint on the structure, we tried to make clear parts with some general information about the software, of course, and then separate algorithms by themselves from the use and installation and spirit of tools which allow you to access them. So we have an algorithm part and a tool part, which is more dedicated to how to use graphical interface, how to deal with R packages, but nothing specific on any algorithm. And of course, as it was the case in the former version, we tried to keep a method part, which gives you information on theory behind algorithms. So the former documentation was called, in the former documentation, it was called Theory Behind SA. And here it's not just only SA, we will try to expand it to all other JDemetra Plus algorithms. So for the release you have online, I will give you the link and give you some hints in a moment. For the release you have online now, you'll see you have clear illustration mainly for the graphic. I'm comparing with the previous release from September or from June. So now you have clearer illustrations for the graphical user interfaces, and we found a way to highlight differences between version 2 and version 3. You have improved chapters mainly on graphical user interface. So you have an overview chapter, and you have a chapter on seasonal adjustment and modeling function in the graphical user interface. You have a new chapter on benchmarking and temporal disaggregation, written by Maria Novas, formerly from INE. And so this is even going to be updated today, because I didn't merge the latest modifications from Maria. So you have this chapter on benchmarking. And you have also a smaller chapter on seasonal adjustment now to make navigability easier. And normally they are improved also for high frequency data. And we also improved chapters on methodology of really methods behind X11, seeds, test, and spectral analysis. So those chapters could be revamped in a deeper way, because they are very similar to they are more readable, but very similar to the old version. And I think we could improve them, but well, we don't treat it now as a main priority. sorry. So we found some visual enhancement in the new version to make it more readable again. And so now we use panels, allowing to easily spot differences between version 2 and version 3, or presenting two possibilities of use in a compact way. So I should be able to show you this here. So for example, here you have your options panel, you have a version 3 panel, and as you see, you have a version 2, sorry, and version 3 panel. So it's a small tool you use to make things nicer. Okay, so we also have added a small functionality which I like, which allows to expand the paragraph. So you get the gist of the matter, and if you need the details, you don't have to scroll all the details, but then you can just so now I need to scroll because I don't have a paragraph here, which I will change, but where is it? So here you have a panel again, and so my link is really crap. I hope I didn't get this wrong. So where is it?
What are you looking for?
Je l'ai raté?
Yes.
I missed it.
In the provider window.
Providers window, okay.
Yes, and then
Just stop. Yep, here. Sorry. So we'll make it even better. So here, for example, you have information and you need more information. So this information is hidden and you can expand it this way. So it makes the whole thing a bit more compact when you're trying to look things up for the first time. And so we really try to do a lot of cross-linking intra and inter chapters and parts. So if you go to the main chapter describing what is in the part and in the chapter, you have links everywhere to the subsections. So once you get used to it, I think navigation will be much quicker. And also what we did was setting up GitHub pages for all our packages, and when they are mentioned, you have a link to the GitHub page which gives you the whole documentation of the function, and which is automatically updated, of course, when the R package documentation is updated. And so in the online documentation, we don't have to replicate all the documentation of the R packages function. We just give some philosophy or use cases or important functions, and then we can just link the GitHub page. So if you link the GitHub page, for example, here we give an example of use of our JDemetra, that's version 2, and then you go to the GitHub page and you have the full documentation, which will be updated automatically every time documentation is updated. So that's, to be honest, a bit of a pain to set up GitHub pages, but it ended up working. And you have this PDF with this clickable PDF. So if I go quickly for, I think I forgot to put the link, so I will go quickly to the book and show you. So the PDF is updated online every time documentation is updated. And so then here you have a table of contents. So then, of course, it's not completely filled in, but you can click on contents, and in the PDF you have links, and you can click on links. And for example, here, if you want to see this, okay, so you have still many like mistakes of rendering in PDF. Well, be a bit patient. We didn't really invest a lot of cleaning up all the small mistakes. And so if you don't want to get, for example, for the nowcasting plugin from the PDF, you just you click the link and you get to the nowcasting plugin. So I hope you like it. Sorry. And so as a conclusion, because well, the proof is in the pudding, so you just have to look up at the documentation, things missing, things not missing, and I cannot describe everything here. So it's a work in progress, of course. It's meant to be finished by the end of the grant in summer 24, so before the Olympics for us, because we'll be busy then. And as the saying goes, expect anything valuable to take time. Well, it's true, but we're trying. So next steps on the way. So we're trying to keep up with the newest developments that Jean does with his team. And so upcoming, we're trying to set up a chapter on new features from version 3, which will allow you to see at a glance what's new and to be linked to the right parts with these new features. Also, we are targeting a comprehensive output description with clearer definition of concept and highlighting differences of names between display in graphical user interface, output from graphical user interface, and our name. So you all familiar with this little mess, and we get asked quite a bit of question on this. So we'll try to tackle it very, very soon. And also to describe better the new incubator plugins, which Jean will talk about later. And also describe better high frequency seasonal adjustment on high frequency data. Well, even start describing it in graphical user interface, because now the chapter is really related to our packages. And so we will keep publishing new releases on this. And as we've been doing for a while, updating you in our newsletter, which is kind of monthly, bi-monthly, well, aperiodic. And so just a reminder about the blog. It's a slide I've made before, but maybe for people who are new, we try to keep an up-to-date blog, which is called JD Plus Universe, with an E missing here. Sorry. And so it's meant to be a new space between GitHub, which is very technical, and cross-portal, which is not very easy to update for everyone. So it's non-official. So here we try to keep a stack of our newsletters, so then you get all the news. We try to give a description of releases, which is a bit less technical than GitHub, and so it should be complementary. We try to announce and link presentations and talk, which are done about JDemetra Plus, famously in TTS or stuff like this, but any other conference. And guest posts are welcome. So if you have an JDemetra Plus idea to comment on an issue you solved or historical stuff, we will welcome your post. And also note that comments are enabled. You just have to log into GitHub first. So I leave you with the links. So here you have the quarter book. If you want to contribute to the documentation, you just fork this repository and we will accept or not your pull request. No, we will accept them and try to highlight your contribution. So online documentation is deployed here online. So just beware. Quarter book is updated very often on GitHub because we want to save our work and to share it. But online deployment doesn't happen like every day or every 2 days. We do it from time to time when stuff is approximately cleaned up. And then you have the blog with newsletters, news release, and our YouTube channel, where you find tutorials. And also, I'm asked a lot about this, the recording of all our webinars. And probably the recording of this meeting. So just if we head over to the blog. So that's pretty new. For example, release of graphical user interface, Cruncher, some news on time series analysis, workshop, the newsletter. Here you will have a link to the video of our webinar and then links to discussion papers and talks. So I think that's all for our roundup on documentation. So thank you very much for your attention. And if you have any questions, please feel free to ask.